Okay, I'm redoing a recording I attempted to do like a few days ago this week, passing week. And it's on the late Chevelle Lewis note. She was a 31-year-old gas pump attendant who was shot dead at her workstation in Portmore, St. Catherine. Now, according to what happened is that she was doing her work duties at said gas station when some man on a motorcycle rode up and pretty much executed her on the spot. Now, following that though is that we're not really sure what the motive was. And yeah, when I first did it, I didn't really do a good recording of it, I must confess. I was wondering, okay, why exactly did they do that? Because it wasn't a robbery or whatever. And it was basically something that was just like a hit that was ordered out though, or she had beef with somebody. And good thing I decided to scrap the original recording because I think what Politics Watch said, because this usually when you want to hear some scoop that they're not going to see in the news circle, you go to Sir P, and Sir P basically said that okay, she herself personally, well, as far as we know, didn't wasn't mixed up anything bad, but apparently I think she said that she had a relative who unfortunately was. I know how that goes. That whenever somebody is associated with somebody through blood or just a common association, they do the you can't catch Quaco, catch him shut. Meaning that okay, we can't get this relative. For instance, a brother or one of our brothers, they're going to just send a message to him by killing her. So they make, and that's how a lot of these criminals in Jamaica operate. That hey, we can't get one the person really want. Let's kill a relative or a close friend, just to really stick it to that one person who's going to be either broken or incensed. And as we're pretty sure, the fact that the brother, I think for instance, who's in jail right now, I'm pretty sure if the brother has connections, that yeah, there's going to be some reprisals very soon, if it hadn't happened already. But yeah, what makes it even sadder is that Chevelle Lewis, I think she had two children, so these children are going to grow up with their mother. It didn't say where the father is. I hope the dad's in the picture, because if the dad's in the picture, hopefully he can be there for their children who basically have to grow up without their mother going forward. And yeah, stories like this make it really hard, especially when the victims have children. Whether the victims are paragons of virtue or quite the opposite. My condolences go to our children, the rest of our family especially, because now that they know they're going to have to grow up without their mother, and yeah, the psychological damage is going to be there. Now, as I was saying, and I know I'm going to be sound like a broken record. Where are the hashtags? Where are all these groups? And yeah, I'm always going to get on the case of these feminists and these human rights groups who always talk about protect women and who conveniently ignore the male victims, of course, because we all know the story how they get written out. But it should be very telling that a lot of these female victims who are gunned down are just going or don't are not even don't make trending headlines that much, because we're still going about Donnelly Donaldson, and yeah, that's still ongoing. Where all the people are going to be talking about Chevelle Lewis, like where all the people are going to be protesting, where all the people going to be celebrities going to be mentioning her name, and are going to be demanding that justice be done. And yeah, if you think I'm going to answer that question, I already did. That's a rhetorical question. Yeah, by this time, Chevelle Lewis is just going to be another one or few day storyline, and then we're just going to just pay no never mind. And yeah, if you're going to get tired of me pointing that out about how Jamaican civilians, for the most part, unless they're celebrities or are prominent importance within society, yeah, and how they pretty much are just treated as forgettable casualties that are not even worth remembering after the fact. Yeah, well, this is going to unfortunately be a case, because I don't really see how many people are going to be talking about this woman or are going to be saying that we want justice just in case, not just for her, but for her two children who are not going to have their mother after this week. Yeah, I want to see if all people who have the energy for Donnelly Donaldson are going to say anything about that. And yeah, that's a rhetorical question. Yeah, they're not really there. This is going to be good right down the memory hole. And till the next person who gets murdered in this grisly fashion trends the headlines. And that's just the usual day in Jamdown. And I do not mean that in a good way. This is for State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Gus and Farron, Miles Productions with Thoughts and Miles. All right.